gods and goddesses, and the myths are just beyond amazing. And I thought I would do a whispered ASMR video on just that. As you can see, I am on page 13 of the book. I will share the title of the book and the writers to give credit where it's due. Let's start. Brahma, the creator. Brahma is the Hindu creator god. He was born in a lotus flower, which was in the navel of the god Vishnu. He spent most of his time meditating. Out of his meditation came the different parts of the universe. Brahma is often pictured with 4 or 5 heads so that he can see everything. In some versions of the myths, he created all of the other gods. He was the father of the first human named Manu. As Indian mythology grew, Brahma became less popular. He was less involved in people's lives. People began to tell more stories of other gods like Vishnu and Shiva, who were more exciting and personal. The priests who served the god Brahma were called Brahmins, sometimes spelled Brahmans. Sometimes Brahma is confused with the word Brahman. Brahman is not a god. It is the soul of the universe, the force of life. This is an image of Brahma, the Hindu creator god. And above is the Hindu creator god Brahma, who is often pictured with 4 or 5 heads so that he can see everything. Vishnu, the preserver. The god Vishnu was a kindly god. He was always interested in preserving and protecting people. Before Brahma created the universe, Vishnu leapt 3 times to mark the boundaries of the universe. He also held up the pillar that separates heaven from earth, so that heaven didn't come crashing down. Vishnu appeared on earth in many forms called avatars. Some traditions say he had 10 avatars. Other myths say he had more. But whenever the world was threatened, one of Vishnu's avatars came to fight for humanity or give guidance. One of Vishnu's avatars was a fish who warned Manu, the first man, of a coming flood. Another avatar was named Varaha, who was a giant boar. When a demon stole the Vedic scriptures, then pushed the earth into an ocean, it was Varaha who rescued the earth and got the scriptures back. This is Vishnu in his boar avatar form, and you can also see that Vishnu in his first avatar form as a fish. Some traditions say he had a total of 10 avatar forms, as we mentioned before. Okay. Finally, we get to a really, really interesting god. I have always been super, super obsessed with Shiva. So Shiva the destroyer. Shiva was a fearsome destroyer, punishing the wicked, as well as sometimes destroying the entire earth. He was often pictured dancing with many arms. He had a third eye on his forehead that erupted in flames. He was sometimes pictured with a pale face and a blue neck because he drank poison that would have killed humanity. Shiva was a complicated god. He lived with demons, but he was merciful. He was violent, yet he protected the weak. He destroyed, but he was thoughtful about it. He destroyed so that something new could be created. Similar to the way an acorn must be destroyed to make an oak tree. was a fearsome destroyer, and he was sometimes shown erupting in flames. Kali, the demon killer. One of the most fearsome gods in Indian mythology was Kali. She killed demons, but sometimes became so frenzied that she also destroyed the world. Kali was often pictured with long fangs, a blood-red tongue, and a necklace of human skulls. In one version of Kali's birth, she was born when the goddess Durga was fighting a terrible, powerful demon. This demon could reproduce himself with a single drop of his own blood. Kali burst out of the forehead of Durga and then killed the terrible demon. Kali then quickly drank all the blood of the demon so that none of it could fall to earth and create more demons. There were professional assassins and criminals in ancient India who killed in the name of Kali. In the language Hindustani, they were known as staka, or thieves. British officials in the 1800s called them thuggies, and that is where we get our word for violent person or thug. You can see Kali here, who killed demons but could also destroy the world. Indian creation stories. Most cultures have several creation stories. India probably has more creation stories than any other culture. In one Indian creation story, a giant egg floated on the ocean. Brahma cracked it, and out of the egg came mountains, rivers, the sky, and everything else. There were many versions of this myth, some involving Vishnu, others involving Shiva. Another creation myth had Vishnu lying on the back of a giant serpent. A lotus flower, a symbol of peace, grew from Vishnu's belly. Inside the lotus flower was Brahma, who emerged from the flower and then created the universe. A much earlier version of the creation story involved a god named Visvakarman. There was nothing but chaos, but Visvakarman began to churn the chaos in the same way a farmer might churn milk to make butter. Soon, out of the chaos, the world was created. You can see Vishnu lying on the back of a giant serpent in this illustration. And here you can see the painting that shows the churning of the sea of milk. Popular Indian goddesses. The gods and goddesses of India were powerful and intelligent. Many sought to promote peace and do away with evil. Saraswati, sometimes called the mother of the universe. She was the wife of the creator Brahma. In one tale, Brahma created her himself. In another version, she was the daughter of Shiva and Durga. She gave the world Sanskrit, the language of the Hindu scriptures. She was a patron goddess of learning, wisdom, and the arts. And you can see her here depicted in this illustration. Durga is here. She was a very powerful goddess. When Vishnu and Shiva were fighting the powerful buffalo demon, they shot flames from their mouths. Durga was born in these flames, capturing and then killing the buffalo demon. In some versions of the myth, she was married to Shiva, and so she helped to rid the world of demons. Shiva's masculinity and Durga's femininity represent a balance to the universe. Durga is fierce, with vampire-like teeth, but she was also the goddess of creativity and the patron deity of sleep, and she gave yoga to the world. Bhudevi, I hope I'm pronouncing it well. Probably an ancient Mother Earth goddess, she was added to the mythology of India. She helped create the universe. In some versions of the myth, was married to Vishnu. Like Vishnu, she had many forms and avatars. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is a name I've come across a lot of times and I found it very beautiful. This goddess of good luck and fortune was a wife of Vishnu. She was the perfect beauty, born as an adult form of the waves of the ocean. In this illustration, you can see the god Vishnu rides with his two wives, Bhudevi, the earth goddess, on the left, and Lakshmi, the goddess of good luck and wealth, on the right. Ushas, the goddess of the dawn, was reborn every morning. She was the daughter of the sky and the sister of the night, and she rode a chariot across the sky each morning. Sati, one of the older gods in India, was Daksha, and Sati was his daughter. Sati married Shiva, even though Daksha disapproved. Daksha and Shiva fought until Shiva cut off Daksha's head. Shiva then put a goat head on his father-in-law's shoulders. Sati threw herself into the fire in protest but came back to life as the goddess Parvati. Other popular Indian gods. We have Indra, one of the earliest gods in India. Indra was considered the king of the gods. He was a god of storms and was a great warrior. As Vishnu and other gods became more popular, a story emerged that Vishnu lifted a mountain with his finger to shield Earth from Indra's torrential storms. Over time, Indra was demoted to a less important rain god. Ganesha. This god was the patron deity of success and good luck. Originally, he was the son of Shiva and Parvati. Parvati, the mother, told Ganesha to guard the door while she bathed. However, Ganesha took her words too seriously and wouldn't even let his father Shiva enter the bath. Shiva angrily cut off his son's head. Understandably, Parvati was outraged, so Shiva took the first head he could find and put it on Ganesha. It was an elephant head, and so Ganesha was pictured as an elephant-headed man. In the image you can see Shiva, Parvati, and Ganesha. So Ganesha, the elephant-headed good god of luck, pictured with his parents Shiva and Parvati. Krishna, one of the avatars of Vishnu. Krishna was himself also worshipped as a god. Krishna battled demons, including his evil uncle. He was quite popular and had more than 16,000 wives. Krishna was accidentally killed by a hunter who shot an arrow into Krishna's foot. Surya, the god of the sun, was Surya. In some myths, he was an avatar of Vishnu or Shiva. He was often pictured sitting in front of the sun, sometimes with 3 eyes and 4 arms. He rode a chariot across the sky each day. This is Krishna and this is Surya. Rama was one of the most popular avatars of Vishnu. Rama was probably based on a much older series of myths about Indra, one of the earliest Indian gods. As various demons and monsters were destroying the countryside, Rama used Shiva's bow, which no human had ever been able to use to rescue the people. We are now at the glossary. So let's get familiarized with some of the terms used in the book. The first one is archetype, which is a character that appears over and over in class of people in the Indian god system, also known as the untouchables. Dharma, one spiritual duty. Hinduism, a religion of India. King Arthur, a warrior king of the British castle city of Camelot. King Arthur may or may not have been real. British stories tell of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table who brought peace to the land. Luke Skywalker, a fictional heroic character from the Star Wars movies. Meditate, to think deeply about a subject, usually while relaxed and calm. Patron deity, a protector or guardian god. Sacrifice, the act of killing an animal or human as an offering to a god or gods. Ulysses, a king, hero, and adventurer of Roman mythology, also known as Odysseus or Odysseus in Greek mythology. Upanishads,